Now, it's time for the no-half-step in hockey coverage, so let me get to the goods. It's time for operation number 693 for the Renegades of Puck. That's right, show number 693. And in this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 6th place in the Central Division. 33 games played on the season. They have a record of 14-14-5. 33 points has them 15 points behind first place Dallas, 10 points behind second place Winnipeg. The Minnesota Wild are in 3rd place. Colorado Avalanche are in 4th place. The St. Louis Blues are in 5th place, just 2 points ahead of the Nashville Predators. And the Arizona Coyotes are 4 points behind the Nashville Predators in 7th place. And the Chicago Blackhawks are at the bottom of the division in 8th place at just 20 points on the season. The Nashville Predators' next game takes place on the road. They have a road record on the season of 6-8-2. They've scored 84 goals in the season. They've given up 101. That's a goal differential of minus 17. So for the Nashville Predators, after 33 games played, they are back to 500 yet again. Now, after this next game versus the Anaheim Ducks in Anaheim, they'll close out the 2022 calendar Saturday in Las Vegas, and then Tuesday open up the 2023 calendar at home versus the Montreal Canadiens, then head out on a lengthy road trip beginning Thursday in Carolina, Friday in Washington, and then the 9th of January in Ottawa. So for the Nashville Predators, an opportunity to go to Anaheim and score their second victory of the season over the Ducks. It was back on November the 29th when the Nashville Predators scored a 2-1 victory in overtime. It was the captain Roman Josi with the overtime game-winning goal. Colton Sissons had the other goal for the Nashville Predators. UC Saros scored the victory 34 out of 35 in net. These two teams will meet one more time. It won't happen until March the 12th when the Nashville Predators will go to Anaheim for the second time. Now, talking about the Ducks, they are, well, they're awful. 9-22-4 on the season is only 22 points. They are 8th, which is last place in the Pacific Division. On home ice, they have a losing record of 5-8-1, and they have a goal differential of minus 63. In their last 5 games, on the 15th of December, is a 5-2 victory at the Montreal Canadiens, followed up on the 17th with a 4-3 victory at the Edmonton Oilers, and then on the 20th of December, a 4-1 loss at Los Angeles, then a 4-1 loss versus the Minnesota Wild, a 3-2 overtime loss versus the Calgary Flames on the 23rd, and they will be facing off against the Vegas Golden Knights on Wednesday night before they will be taking on the Nashville Predators at home on Friday afternoon. Taking a look at the NHL rankings between these two teams and all of the statistical metrics, and they rank in the bottom third of the NHL in virtually every single category. The Nashville Predators in goals for a 2.50 per game is 30th in the NHL, but that is actually ahead in this metric in this battle because the Anaheim Ducks goals for a 2.31 per game is 32nd or last in the NHL. Goals against the Nashville Predators are giving up 3.03 per game. They are 16th best in the NHL, while the Anaheim Ducks are dead last in this category as well, 32nd, giving up 4.11 goals per game. In shots for, which means shots generated on the net by the Nashville Predators, 30.4 per game, has them set at 20th in the league, while the Anaheim Ducks are 29th overall in the NHL, 29.1 on net per game. Now, shots against, the Anaheim Ducks are giving up an incredible amount of shots against, 38.1, which is 32nd or last in the NHL, while the Nashville Predators are giving up 33.7. That number seems high enough, but it's nowhere near the 38. The Preds are 29th in the NHL. Special teams, not a very exciting matchup right here. 16.2% for the Nashville Predators on the power play. That's 29th in the NHL. 18 conversion on 111 opportunities, while Anaheim is the 28th rated power play in the NHL, just one spot ahead of the Nashville Predators. They've converted 17 times out of 100 opportunities for 17% on the season. On the penalty kill, the Preds are 18th in the NHL. That wins the metric in the battle between these two clubs for this particular matchup. 25 power play goals against, 77.7% kill rate for the Nashville Predators. On the other side of the ledger for Anaheim, they are 30th rated in the NHL. They've given up 40 power play goals against now in the season, and they have a penalty kill rate of 69.5%. Now, every team in the NHL has some high caliber individual players, and of course the Anaheim Ducks have plenty of them, so let's go through their top scorers. Terry, 12 goals in the season, 17 assists, 29 points, would be leading the Nashville Predators in scoring. Zegras, 10 goals and 15 assists for 25 points. McTavish, 6 and 14 for 20. Strome at Net, 8 goals and 10 assists for 18 points overall. And Adam Henrique at 9 goals and 8 assists for 17 points. In net, Gibson has a record of 5-14 and 3, a save percentage of .896, a goals against average of 3.99. None of those numbers are very good, and we all know that John Gibson is a much better goaltender than this. He just happens to be the netminder of a very bad hockey team at this point in time. On the other side of the ledger, the individual stats for the Nashville Predators are as follows. Matt Duchene, Roman Josi, Philip Forsberg all have 26 points on the season at this point, tied for the team lead. Let me give you the breakdown for each. Duchene is at 10 goals and 16 assists for 26 points. Forsberg is also at 10 goals and 16 assists for 26 points. And the captain, Roman Josi, 7 goals and 19 assists for 26 points. Mikhail Granlund, 4 and 16 for 20. Ryan Johansson, 9 and 9 for 18. UC Saros has a record of 11, 9 and 5 on the season in net, 9.14 save percentage, 2.81 goals against average. And Kevin Lankinen, 3 and 4 record on the season, 9.25 save percentage, 2.64 goals against average, with the Nashville Predators having back-to-back games out on the West Coast, or in the Pacific Division would be a more accurate way to describe it. Anaheim, Vegas, back-to-back, less than 24 hours apart. You would anticipate that each of these goaltenders are going to get an opportunity to start, not knowing who's going to start. Give you the numbers for both potential starters, but you would think Lankinen versus Anaheim and UC Saros against the Las Vegas Golden Knights, but who knows how John Hines is going to deploy it. That gets you all set up for the Nashville Predators against the Anaheim Ducks. Second matchup of the season between these Western Conference rivals. They won't meet again until the very end of the season. Nashville Predators have already secured 2 points out of 2 potential points on the season. They absolutely must secure these next 2 points. They cannot give up any more room to teams below them in the standings, and there are so few and far teams between them below them in the standings.